All right. Hello, good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm looking for my sounds here. I kind of moved some things around. Where's my sounds, man? Here it is. So let me try it again. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. So, on today, I know it's been a while since I've posted a live. It's probably been about a month now. But anyway, today's topics we're going to talk about. First topic is going to be it's a man who claims that his boss cut his hours right after he got a brand new car. Let me turn this down. It's kind of distracting. I can hear my echo. Anyway, it's a man who claims that his boss cut his hours right after he decided he was going to get a brand new car, whether it was for him or his wife, whatever. We're going to speak a little bit about that. Topic number 2, we do have charliekirk. I wasn't going to speak on him. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to when it first happened, but I was like, nah. But as you guys can see, he made it to another topic on here. So we're going to talk about it. Topic number 3 is going to be about the housing market crash. That is, I can't necessarily say it's officially here, but we'll talk about it. So hopefully you guys can enjoy that as well. We need to get some more people in here. And the last topic, which is the headliner, you guys already seen that we're going to be talking about the artist named David, D4VD, however you say that, David. If you do decide that you want to contribute to today's show, it's scrolling down there at the bottom. Cash App all off trucking 01, not 001, not 002, 01, only one. That's me. So anyway, if you do decide that you want a coaching call, we're going to go ahead and scroll that across the bottom as well. You guys should be able to see it down there somewhere. Yeah, the coaching call, once again, it's about if you need help with your case in particular. And if you decide you want to talk to me about business and get some type of advice, that's fine too. Either way it go, it's perfectly fine. However, so once again, like I was saying in the beginning, I know I haven't went live in a while. Well, this is the first time we're actually like live. This isn't pre-recorded. This is right now, like live. I was going to try to live stream earlier, like yesterday, or however you want to put it. But man, I was so tired from the whole week of just working. Like, me and my wife, we went on a vacation and everything like that. We had a great time, had fun. That was actually my very first cruise, especially as an adult. Hold on. Where is it? There we go. I always forget to put the music on here. Anyway, that was our very first cruise and everything like that, our vacation together at least. And I think it went pretty well. We had a good time. We enjoyed ourselves. The kids weren't with us on that vacation, but next time they'll go. We just wanted to kind of get the feel for everything before we decide to bring them along. But other than that, I think it went perfectly fine. We had a great time. I do have a review on the boat that we went on. It was a Royal Caribbean boat. Enchantment. That was the name of it. It was like one of the older ones, but I do have a review on that boat coming out as well. That just takes a whole lot of work editing that and putting pieces together and things like that. So we'll definitely have that come out as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into topic number 1. So we always have to do fair use when we're live on YouTube, dropping a video, whatever it is. We always got to go fair use, just because I don't want anyone coming and copywriting any of my videos and things like that. You guys know why. And periodically throughout this entire live stream, we are going to have to not necessarily cut, my bad. We are going to have to pause the video, give our opinion and everything like that. It's just part of being fair use. That's all. So let's go ahead and bring up this first video. So this guy I believe my wife is the one who actually sent me this like about a month ago, but it was like a short form of it. So I seen like a little, basically a snippet of it. I never seen the entire video until right now with you guys. Let me switch my camera. No, that ain't it. Here we go. Let's do it with that one. Ooh, nose tingling. All right, let's play the video.
All right, so y'all see the title, right? So let's get right into it. Okay, let's get right into the video. I know you guys have a lot of opinions after seeing the title, but I'm gonna be real with y'all. I did everything right, okay? My entire 20s, guys. I sacrificed my 20s, you know, paid off debt, you know, delayed my gratification. If you guys know my story, y'all already know my relationship with debt. I've been somebody, man, I paid off debt and I got back into debt. I paid off debt, I got back into debt. This is one hell of a roller coaster for anybody who's been following the journey. I'm just gonna remain hopeful. But yeah, bought a new car, okay? And I'm telling you guys, like 3 days later, my boss cut my hours, man.
Forgot I was muted for a minute. So anyway, yeah, so this very first topic, I can't say I had my boss cut my hours because having your own truck, you are considered self-employed. But however, I can speak on the fact that it seemed like my boss, they don't know who I'm talking about. They don't know what company, so I'm gonna just say that much. I worked at plenty of jobs, y'all, in trucking. So I had a boss, right? That I feel like he's been like, I don't know, low-key hating. I'm not gonna lie. And the reason that I feel that way about that is because of the fact that when I first got to this particular job in trucking, it seemed like it was just a whole bunch of jealousy from the jump. I can tell he has that type of personality that I just can't mix with. You know what I mean? You know what you guys know what I mean when you meet a person and you just know right from the jump, you guys probably aren't going to get along. Like me and him have never argued. We never almost fought, nothing like that. But at the end of the day, it's a certain way that people like treat you. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of somewhat dismissive in a way. But yeah, I've always got that type of vibe from him just from the beginning, from the get-go. And I've always just kind of kept my distance, came to work, did what I had to do, not trying to make any friends or anything like that. Take my ass home after that. Simple. I'm one of those type of guys. I come in, go to work, do what I got to do. But however, in this video, this guy literally just said that his boss cut his hours right after he decided to get a brand new car. Guys, listen. Oh, I didn't even see you. Let me see. Let me bring up these comments. Kevin Nee, what's up, man? How you doing? Hope everything's okay, man. But yeah, guys. So anyway, when it comes to the particular video, like I said, this guy bought a car. His boss cut his hours. I had something like that happen to me as well, where I have a dream car, for example. It's actually up there. You guys can't see. It's up there on the shelf. It's you need food. Man, I'm getting hungry too, bro. Like I've been up for like a couple of hours now. But however, anyway, make sure you guys leave a like so you can bring more people in as well. But yeah, I've been talking to a couple of people that I'm actually cool with, like a couple of friends and things like that. And my whole dream was to get my dream car and basically set up the whole business so that way it kind of runs itself. Things didn't go that way. You know what I mean? So what happened was my friend ended up telling me, man, don't fucking do that. Like, don't get a dream car and then drive it into work. And first thing your boss is going to do is start cutting hours, for example, like this guy saying in the video. However, I chose to hold off on my dream car. However, I did add another truck to my fleet. And before I did that, I did have a conversation with that manager. And I was like, hey, man, if I do this, can I hire somebody to drive for me? He said, yeah, that's it. So as soon as I got the truck and everything like that, and I decided to sign it on and everything like that, what he decided to do is tell me, hey, man, now I need to have a full year of fuel hauling experience. And every person that I've tried to hire. I've tried to hire about 7 people. He was like, they don't have fuel hauling experience, so it's no way for them to drive for you. And he was like, only way that will be able to happen really is if you decide that you're going to hire from a different company, pretty much bring somebody over from a different company. At the same time, it's still going to be pretty hard to do that, because once someone is actually in fuel hauling, they don't necessarily want to move around. Like, they're comfortable where they are. But yeah, he kind of did me wrong with that, man, where I couldn't even, I'm stuck with the truck now, with the truck payment. My first truck been paid off from day one. Like, I bought that one with cash, but the second truck, I was like, if I just finance it, not a big deal. I can hire somebody and make double the money and just make double payments every month, knock it out. Now I got 2 paid off trucks. That was the plan. It didn't go that way. And it always seemed that way. And I could tell by the looks on his face that he's like got some type of issue with me. Like, he don't want me to grow. So anyway, yeah, man. So you have to be really mindful and really careful about doing things like this, like just jumping ahead of the gun and just going ahead and making a purchase like this, like a car, in my case, a truck, things like that. So you got to be really mindful of that. Let's continue the video. My bad, y'all.
Okay. For those of you guys who don't know, I work as a registered nurse. I work in the ICU. And, you know, they say nursing is a awesome career because we got the flexibility. One, there's like unlimited overtime and all these great benefits. I know you hear about it, right? But something is different right now. Something is extremely different right now. Like, we're literally going through a recession. It's just not announced, okay? You're probably going through your own personal recession as we speak. And I'm probably about to go through mine right now, to be real with y'all. Just to give you guys a little bit more context. All right. I paid off in my 20s, right? Over $250,000 worth of debt. And I was debt free for a little bit, but then I was about to have a baby. So whenever I'm about to have a
Okay, so he's saying that basically he paid off all of his debt and things like that. Understandable. You know what I mean? First of all, I'm going to say that is a hell of a lot of debt, 250,000. So that can easily be, I'm going to assume that can easily be like a home or maybe his college tuition for being a nurse or whatever. But this is the point that I was making, even with him saying $200,000 worth of student loan debt, I'm assuming. When people sit here, and I put it in my last video actually before today. The video was called, can't remember the name of the damn video. However, in that video, I was talking about how people can accumulate a multitude of debt. And I had someone actually tell me that trucking wasn't a business. That's why you guys seen it in my last video. It is the thumbnail. And in that video, he was saying that trucking isn't a business, it's a hustle and all this other stuff, whatever, and how important education is. And like I explained in my last video, education is extremely important. But the difference is, if you don't need to go to college and accumulate debt, just pick up a trade. It's that simple. Get a trade. But according to this first topic, we're going to try to keep it on point with this. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and play it. Let's just play it.
Baby, I don't know. It's like I nest or some shit like that. And I feel the need to just OD. So I got back into debt for about $50,000, right? And that was right before my son was coming. Paid that off. Okay, we did some renovations in my condo. Because my condo, man, if you guys know of the background, needed a lot of renovation. It was very cheap, but it needed a lot of renovation. So did that, okay? Now, try doing everything right, saving and investing. And with the condo, there's a lot of random problems that came, and I fell back into debt. Okay, my HVAC system gave out during the summer, and so I had to pay $16,000. Okay, I liquidated some of my investments, liquidated some of my crypto, you know, and I worked the overtime, paid it off. Boom. Okay, got to a point where we're debt free again, right? Woo, debt free. All right, bet. Started saving up for emergency fund. I'm out here posting videos on YouTube, the importance of building a 1-year emergency fund, doing all that, right? And, you know, everything was going good. Why am I calling it an event, bro?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna kind of skip around on this just because it's like, excuse me. I'm trying to make this live kind of short. I don't want it to be 2-3 hours long. Let's try from here.
For those of you guys who don't know, watch the past videos, but unfortunately something very sad happened within my family, so I was like away for a little bit, away from work, and I needed time to regroup. Was talking to my therapist, was spending time with my family, was very tight with my family, so I was really just trying to find ways to make my wife happy, right? Looking at everything that needed to be done within the crib. You guys know I need to do bilateral bathroom transplants, right? My bathroom had mold in it. And I already told you guys, man, home ownership, man, it's like a money pit, right? Because now I got to do repairs for about $40,000, right, for my bathrooms. And already, like, you know what? We took out a $20,000 loan for that.
Damn, a $20,000 loan just to remodel your bathroom is insane, bro. So actually, now that he say that, I'm assuming that the $250,000 was his home. I'm assuming. No big deal with that. You know, all of us here want to be homeowners, including myself. So, you know, I say it's actually funny that he brought this up in the video. I didn't know that part was in there, if I'm being honest. That's also a topic, like I said earlier, that we're going to talk about. That's going to be like the second to last topic. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue the video.
Put down 20 for one, but also around the same time, just to make my wife happy. Booty
Okay.
tag in the back seat.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I forgot. That's the other part that he mentioned as well. He bought these things to try to keep his wife happy. Guys, I'm going to say this. If you're married or plan on being married, make sure you can take care of yourself completely. Also, do not make stupid decisions like that. Like if you, for example, if someone's wife, for example, wanted a super expensive car, like a G-Wagon or something crazy like that, some guys would just go ahead out on a limb and just go ahead and get it for her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like that's a good investment. It's not a smart decision to make, especially if you guys have like kids and things like that, because that just adds to the budget every single month. When you have kids, you know, you got to buy diapers, they got to eat, they got to go to school, extracurricular activities, all type of stuff. So I wouldn't recommend this at all. Do not ever do nothing like this, please. Be smart about it, y'all.
You have to break that car in, man. I broke the car in. We're having a blast, guys. I pull up to the job and, you know, life is going good. I'm like, well, I'm about to get my bathrooms done. Yeah, it's a little bit of debt, but we about to knock it out. You know, this car's about to be paid off, and yeah, it's a little bit of debt, but I'm leveraging, guys. I'm thinking I'm Robert Kiyosaki, right? Kind of find out, I try to put in my overtime shift, it won't let me. Like, when we do our schedule, we're able to just do our overtime by ourselves. We just plug it in. Guys, this shit's locked, right? Matter of fact, let's say there's 5 nurses on the schedule. They're not even allowing 5 nurses to be scheduled, bro. They trying to see how the census is, bro. They like scheduling 4 nurses, and I'm just like, hold up, why can't we schedule ourselves for overtime anymore? And they talking about, oh man, they cutting down on the overtime. He didn't know? I said, nigga, no, I didn't know. If I would have known they're cutting down on the overtime, I would have got this damn car.
And that is another issue that we deal with, guys. Like, for, you know, all of us, we're either working or doing something. You know what I mean? That's one thing they're going to definitely look at when you purchase a home as well. I haven't yet purchased a home. I have been in the process of trying at least maybe twice ever in my life. But what I can say is when you make a decision like this, an impulsive decision where you decide you're going to try to buy a home or buy a car, things like that, and you're basing it off overtime, I'm going to let you know this now. When you buy a house, that overtime is not going to count towards your basically what you make every month. They're not going to assume that based on the hours. So, oh man, it's early, guys. I'm still kind of tired. I'm not going to lie. But anyway, yeah, do not make an impulsive purchase like this out of your feelings because you feel like you want to make your wife happy or you want to buy something to make yourself feel better. I understand that, but delayed gratification will forever and always be the better way to go. because that way you can always make sure that you're better prepared, just in case you make this purchase and things like this happen. That's all I'm saying. Don't just jump off the edge and be like, oh, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Don't do that. Then you end up in situations like this.
And then they're like, yeah, man, we cutting down on the overtime. And so I'm just sitting here like, shit, bro. Is this big, beautiful bill thing actually coming to effect? Because, like, wow, like, guys, there's always a shortage. Like, they're cutting over.
Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this first portion up. I'm sure you guys get it. I don't want to keep beating a dead horse. At the end of the day, like I said, be smart about it, bro. Like, even if you got it, try to try to live below your means. Don't sit here and make an impulsive purchase like this, bro. Just that simple. Let's move on to topic number. All right. So where are we? There it is. Topic number 2.
Can I move this?
Let's pause it here. So, first of all, I don't know whether to say rest in peace to Charlie Kirk or not, you know. So this segment is going to be Charlie Kirk. You know, I'm going to give my opinion on him, but we're also going to talk about what's in this video. You know, we'll get around to it. But first, my opinion on it. I would say that for the most part, I somewhat agree with I'm not going to say most. Half of the things that Charlie Kirk said, I completely agree with. The reason being is because I seen him debate different races of people on different campuses and gave different opinions every single time. Some of the people that he had the debates with and things like that, I seen him agree with them. Some of them I seen him disagree with. So at the end of the day, I don't know, man. I don't have the videos pulled up here, so I'm not going to go digging and doing all that shit. But I definitely want to let you guys know now. I don't consider myself a liberal. I don't consider myself left wing, right wing, none of that. I can care less at the end of the day. We have no control over it. Let's be real. But I can agree when someone makes a pretty good point. I'm pretty unbiased with that 90% of the time. But let's go ahead and play the video so you guys can see what this lady has to say.
Thank you.
They're welcome to come up to the mic too, but
Okay.
they won't because they'll lose and they know it. Yes.
Okay. So I wasn't going to come up here, but I heard someone talking about how abortions are important because it takes rape babies out of the population. And I just wanted to say that by saying that, they are wanting to take out very important people. 4 years ago, I was raped by my father, and I chose not to have an abortion. And this...
So what I am going to say about that is grape. I have to call it that. I can't say the actual R word on YouTube, guys. You should know how this works by now. Let me turn this down. It's distracting me. Grape is never okay by any means. I don't care who it's by. I don't care if it's by your dad, a stranger, brother, sister, whoever. It's never okay. But however, I knew something was off. Like, just looking at this picture, I'm not saying anything's wrong with their family or anything like that, but you can kind of tell, if you know what I mean. This kid, I'm not gonna talk about the kid. We just gonna continue, man. We're just gonna continue.
is what came out of it.
I'm very sorry that happened to you. That is incest and rape. And tell us your little one's name.
This is Jonah.
And Jonah's a miracle from God.
He is.
But
No,
it was
he's
a
not.
terrible thing that happened to you. What is your message?
Let's not say he's a miracle. He's a product of something negative that happened to the mother, obviously. So we're not going to put that on God at the end of the day. You know, people always say God works in mysterious ways. I get that. But that's not come on, man. That's not from God, bro. That happened out of a traumatic situation for this lady. Let's continue.
To people that say babies conceived in rape are not human beings?
They are absolutely human beings. They are made individually by God, and they can do some very important things. I believe that he'll grow up and he'll help people, and based on all of our experiences, we can try and keep them from doing the same thing that their parents did.
Praise God. Jonah is alive because of your courage. And you turned something evil into something good. So God bless you, and thank you so much. Hi,
Thank
Jonah.
you.
You want a hat, Jonah?
Yes, please.
God bless you.
Okay, so that's the end of that video. I guess he pretty much rounded up to a way that's not negative. I guess I sound more negative in my opinion, but she did basically turn a negative situation into a positive by just looking at the brighter picture of everything. Like, okay, it's a baby. The baby's innocent. I completely get that. However, let's not forget what happened to this lady, man. It's not a good background. Your dad did this to you. So your son is also your brother. And as for the dad, your son is also, I don't know, bro. It's fucking weird, if I'm being honest. Just how everything happened like that. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic. Yeah, I guess this is where is it? There it is.
Housing market finally remember a fraction of the
hold on. Getting ahead of yourself. Anyway, forgot what I was gonna say. But however, if you guys are living under a rock and have no clue what's going on with the housing market, I believe they dropped about 20 basis points or something like that. So that is making it a little bit cheaper or whatever the case to purchase a home. Does that necessarily mean it's time to buy one right now in September? I'll let you know in a minute. Let's go ahead and play the video.
mortgage rates have dropped to the lowest levels of the year. So is the housing market finally getting more affordable?
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger joins us live from New York. And thank you so much. We see some breaking news here that U.S. new home sales unexpectedly jumped over 20%. What do you make of this?
Yeah, I think that this might have been some interesting activity here on new home sales. Remember, a fraction of the market is new home sales, but it could be that these lower mortgage interest rates have helped. Also, a lot of builders will offer incentives. So I think I have to dig into the data a little bit, but I do think that there is going to be more activity in the housing market, not because prices are coming down, but because people have readjusted their expectations and mortgage rates are starting to help in this part of the process.
Okay, so one thing I can definitely say that a lot of people deal with when they purchase their first home or whatever, a lot of people will be like, okay, I don't want to find a home that someone else lived in. I want my home brand new, built from the ground up. I get that as well. But what they don't tell you when you're purchasing that type of home is the fact that your property taxes are not put into that yet. So what they do is they write up your contract and everything like that, and they can't base your taxes on anything because the home isn't built. No home is built around it because most likely it's built on a new foundation, new land, whatever you want to call it. So when you purchase that type of home that's brand new, a lot of people now are waking up. I see them on TikTok all the time. Now they're waking up and saying, oh shit, we bought a home too fast and now they're fucking us over because now my mortgage went from $2,000, for example, to $4,500. No, you got to make sure you read the fine print, bro. When you purchase a home, you have to understand when you purchase a home, that is the biggest purchase most people are ever going to make in their life. So you need to read over everything. If you have an attorney, have them read over it with you. But at the same time, with those taxes not being estimated when you're purchasing your home, your brand new home, I'm trying to kind of speed through this, guys, because the last topic is going to be the longest. I got a lot to talk about with that one, the headliner, the title. But anyway, when you purchase a home, man, those older homes most likely already have the property taxes. So you can actually go to like your local county office and all those things and figure out what you'll be paying for taxes. Or you can just ask the old owner, you know, what are they paying? What are they paying for electricity? You can ask them all of that stuff. And most of the time they're going to have like that information for you. So you will know for a fact if you want to purchase that home or not. Anyway, let's continue.
Okay, what trends are we seeing as far as home prices outside of those new home sales?
Well, I mean, look, the median home price is still very high nationally, $440,000 or so, and it's up significantly from 5 years ago. I guess the best news is that price increases are slowing down. And, you know, in some very once hot areas like the Sun Belt, we've seen prices start to tick down from their peak. I do think it would not, I don't want to be, you know, sort of too like pie-eyed about this. The cost of carrying a home is still really steep.
And basically, she just took my answer at the end of the day. Like I said, you guys would know when I play the video if it's worth it or not buying a home right now. As you guys can see, even though they dropped the interest rate like 20 basis points or something like that, that don't necessarily mean it's time to buy right now, because it's still like over. Let me see. I know I have it pulled up somewhere. I wonder if I can share this with you guys. Let me see if I can bring it up. Yeah, man, because I'm trying to let you guys in on a little bit of this. If you guys don't know or don't understand, or you're interested in buying a home yourself, let me see. Okay. Here we go. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. No, you can't. Let me. Here it is. Oh, let's remove that. Let's bring this up. There it is. So here's your average interest rate as of right now. Currently, today, September 2025, it is 6.27%. That is the national average here in the United States of America. We can look right here, look back about a year. It was 6.40%. That's pretty high. That's pretty steep. So 20 basis points is not really going to change much. You know what I mean? As far as the home prices and things like that. Of course, you have to do your own due diligence and make sure, and make sure that you pay attention to everything that you're doing at the same time when it comes to purchasing a home. But yeah, so that is 30 years fixed right there. 6.27 if you decide to buy a home now. It's not that bad, but you know, people are still in limbo about like whether they want to buy a house at this interest rate or not. So it all depends on your credit as well, like, and your down payment. You know, all those factors play a part in it. However, just wanted you guys to see all of that. Let's go back to the video.
Well, you know, here in Southern California, Jill, I know a lot of people playing the game of, is it even worth it to buy right now because of insurance prices, not just mortgage rates and the cost of the house, but everything that comes with it. You see a lot more people renting. What do you make of that?
I think that that's probably a really smart decision for many people. I mean, there used to be this sense of like, oh my gosh, the American dream, it has to be owning a house. It doesn't have to be owning a house. In a lot of places, like in Southern California, like in a high cost of living, like up in the Bay Area or here in New York, in this area, sometimes renting is a preferable option. And, you know, especially for people, as you say, you know, you're factoring in the price of the house, the mortgage, but you're right, homeowners insurance is so much more expensive now, the tax situation, and just maintenance of a home itself. When you put it all together, a lot of people would be better off renting and maybe even being able to put more money into their retirement accounts than plowing it into the cost of carrying a home.
So another thing that she just mentioned is the fact of like, you still have to keep up with maintenance and all that stuff as well. I can actually relate this to trucking as well, because maintenance is maintenance. You know, when it comes to trucking, people like to put that as an expense, like as if you're going to be paying maintenance every day, all week, every month, things like that. You're not going to blow an engine that often. You know, I've never blown one yet, and I've been trucking for almost 10 years now. But at the same time, when it comes to home buying, you guys lived in homes, right? Like, you're renting, whatever, if you own a home, whatever, either way it go, even if you're renting, you can see the maintenance that go into a home. You know what I mean? Like only thing you're probably gonna have to pay for maintenance every single month would be okay, cutting the grass, things like that. That's it. That's it. You're not gonna blow an AC unit every month, every week. So to even include that in like the home's expenses is like, come on, y'all can do better than that.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, because Sheba and I are both renters for that
Right.
sake. So what should we be doing with our money?
Well, you know what? I think that it's important if you're renting and you're like, gosh, it's so much more affordable. That leaves me more money to go out and party. Doesn't work as well, does it? But if you can take the difference, if you say, all right, let's make numbers up. I'm a renter and I can pay $3,000 a month, but to own a house, it would cost me $6,000 a month, and I can't really afford that. But maybe add that to your retirement plan contribution, 1 percentage point at a time.
All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this portion of it up. At the end of the day, person home as of right now in 2025, you can pretty much say everybody's being priced out. Home prices are still over $400,000 unless you're in a less desired area. Then maybe you can get a cheaper home and things like that. You know, that's a smart thing to do. But yeah, that's it, man. Let's go ahead and move on to the very last topic of the show, which all right.
Girls.
Let's go ahead and bring her to the stage, man. So if you're coming in or whatever the case, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, ask questions, talk to me in the comments. Whatever you guys feel about this, let me know. I'll go ahead and reply to you guys as well. Yeah, this is gonna be sad. I'm not even gonna lie. So even with this, I'm gonna say I didn't want to talk about this initially at first either, just because I see everybody else talking about it on YouTube, articles that I've read, everything like that. But I think I have a different perspective than these other people as well. They give you like the watered down version of it. So make sure you put your tinfoil hats on and things like that, because it's gonna get a little bit more like a conspiracy theorist type situation. But let's start the video.
A teen.
Oh, by the way, fair use, YouTube. Fair use. Fair use. All right.
Girl's body is found in the trunk of a car tied to a rising music artist. Now more details continue to emerge on the connection between the two. But are all the dots leading to an arrest? We're breaking down the latest on where the investigation stands. Thanks for joining us on Law and Crime. I'm Elizabeth Milner. The mystery surrounding the tragic death of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas deepens weeks after her body was discovered in a trunk. No one has been arrested or even charged, but that hasn't stopped some online from drawing their own conclusion about who they think might be the suspect. So this is what we know so far. On September 8th, the body of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas was found in the front trunk of a Tesla after the car had been towed to a tow yard in Hollywood. What we know about the condition of how her body was found is unimaginable. Her remains were wrapped in plastic, and according to NBC News, her remains were not intact. So the reason it took so long to ID her body was due to the decomposition of her body. This case has sparked so much interest, especially when it was learned that the Tesla Celeste body was found in was registered to singer David Anthony Burke, better known by his stage name David, but spelled with a 4. Now,
Okay. So let me talk to you guys a little bit, man. When it comes to dealing with things like this, a music artist, all this other stuff. If you guys don't know, by the way, I am a music artist myself. I have a song on Spotify. I used to go by the formal name, John Q. You may not know that name or not. I don't care. At the same time, once I seen how everything worked, dealing with this type of stuff right here, being an artist, I don't want to deal with it. And in case you guys don't believe me, let me bring up my Spotify so you can see I'm on here. Get this out the way. How do I share my screen? Where is it? But yeah, just dealing with these type of people in this industry, especially in LA. I'm from California and all of that stuff, bro. So I know how it works. I know exactly what this is. Like if you, like I said, put your tinfoil hats on. We know exactly what this is. I can't say the word, not on YouTube, but I'm just gonna say, hopefully, I can get away with this. An offering to I don't know. I can't even say that name, bro. Like that's how strict YouTube is about that type of stuff. So I know exactly what this is, bro. It was an offering. That's what she was to him. But let me see. I'm sorry, guys. Let me I keep forgetting. Here it is. Let me bring myself up so I can show you. Okay. So you guys should be able to see this now. Oh, no, you can't. No, you can't. Oh, here it is. Let's remove this. Bring this one up. Here's my Spotify. You guys can't even see it. So, oh, there it is. You see me on there, John Q, right there. If you guys decide you want to subscribe to my other YouTube page, you can. It's can't even remember the damn name. It doesn't even matter. I ain't dropped no music in like 5 years. But anyway, yeah, man. Like we all know what this is, bro. It was all an offering at the end of the day. That's all it was. Let's bring that article back.
David doesn't face any charges, nor has he been arrested in connection to Celeste's murder. But here's why some think he might allegedly be involved in some way. Besides the fact Celeste was found in a car registered to him, her mom told TMZ last week her daughter had been missing since April 5th of 2024 at just 13 years old. Celeste's mom told the outlet she got worried learning the news of a body being found in a Tesla because one, the police description matched Celeste, 5'1", weighing about 70 pounds, wavy dark hair, but also a major standout, the letters SH tattooed on her finger, which just so happens to match the exact same tattoo David also has on his index finger. And if that wasn't just merely a coincidence, Celeste's mom also told TMZ her daughter had a boyfriend named David. Now, eagle-eyed fans went to David's music also hoping for some kind of clues or possible ties. In one of his leaked songs, David sings about professing his love to someone named Celeste. The verses include, "Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest. Smell her on my clothes like cigarettes. I hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed." The other verse includes, "Oh Celeste, afraid you'll only love me when undressed. But you look so damn gorgeous in that dress.
Okay, so right from the jump, I'm gonna say, dude is a weirdo. Just looking at the whole thing, like the whole picture of everything. Why are you even talking to a 13, 14, 15-year-old girl and you're 19, 20 years old, however old he was at the time? Why are you even associated with this little kid? For what? I don't know. Like, what was he trying to do? Was he trying to pimp her out? You trying to get her to sell some pussy? Like, what are you doing, bro? It's weird. And I know they do that in LA. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Figueroa down there, but it's plenty of it being sold. I'm gonna let you know that right now. Plenty. But I don't know, bro. This type of stuff, this type of things right here that pisses me off just at the end of the day, because oh man, I could bring up so many different. Let me bring up some examples, man. These are artists. First of all, look at the time of the year that we're in right now. You guys don't notice a trend every time around this time of the year, every single year? Somebody passes away around the fall season every year. Let me bring up the list. Here's a list of rappers that died in the month of September. Rich Homie Quan, Mac Miller. You guys should know those names right from the jump. Tupac Shakur, Coolio. Did I say PNB Rock yet? Nah, PNB Rock. That's just September. Like at the end of the day, bro, like I know exactly what this is. Like I said, when it's an offering, I know exactly what it is. I'm talking about the shit they draw on the ground with the star in the middle, candles lit. I know exactly what it is, bro. But like I said, a lot of people on YouTube aren't gonna say this. I don't care. Ain't nobody coming after me. Simple. But this is the type of stuff you got to deal with, man, when you're dealing with industry people, bro. Let me bring up some of his songs as well. So I did listen to one of his songs, and I actually like it enough to add it to my playlist. Like I said, I'm an artist, bro. I listen to almost everything. I was listening to XXX Tentacion, all type of stuff, to Kendrick Lamar. But one song that I realized he actually confessed most of this stuff. David has a song called Romantic Homicide, right? I hope I can say that on YouTube. Anyway, let me find the lyric real quick. He says, in the back of my mind, you died, and I didn't even cry. No, not a single tear. I'm sick of waiting patiently for someone who won't even arrive. Guys, what is that telling you right there? This dude lined this girl up, bruh. He lined her up. Either he did it himself, allegedly, or he lined her up. Again, YouTube, allegedly. Nobody knows. Nobody was there, so nobody knows, bro. Simple. But I blame the parents, bro, of this little girl. Like, why are you, first of all, based on some of the things that I read on some of these other articles, she was a runaway. You know what I mean? She was running away from home, doing all this type of stuff or whatever the case. That's like signs of a troubled household. Where's dad? You know what I mean? Like, or dad may have been there. You never know. Like, maybe things was happening to her at home. You don't know what's going on, bro, in these other people's homes. It's just sad to see, bro, like another teenager gone. A teenager, bro, is still a child. They say 15, but by the time she passed, her birthday didn't pass. So she was like 14 technically, but rounded up 15. This isn't the only time she went missing, but it is really sad to see, bro, for real.
Missing you so much makes me depressed, but I digress because now the song was reportedly titled Celeste Demo Unfin. It's interesting, though, the timing. The song was leaked in December of 2023, months before Celeste was reported missing. But if the Celeste being sung about is the same Celeste who was found murdered, that means a then 18-year-old David was singing about a 13-year-old Celeste. David's creative visuals have also faced new scrutiny. According to a report by News Nation, the singer allegedly had a casket on stage while he was performing. And in the music video for his song One More Dance, it features a body being dragged and put into a trunk.
What more do you need to see? What more do you need to see? I get he's an artist and he's gonna try to express himself through his art. One thing I realized is I can't speak on every artist, but I know for the most part when I did rap and do music and all that type of stuff, I spoke about real situations. I ain't never spoke about nothing that I've never done or have never seen. But I don't know, bro. This dude's sick in the brain, for real. And look at how he carry himself. He looked like one of those what do they call them? Is it like the emo type of people? I can't think of the type of songs they make or type of music. It's called like pop rock pop, some shit like that. I don't know. But punk rock. There we go. Punk rock. Yeah, man. Like he's dressing like a punk rock type of kid, an emo guy, and all this other stuff. As a black kid, it's kind of, I don't know. Black people look at that kind of weird, but I don't know. This guy's a pure weirdo. Just talking to a kid overall is just fucking weird, bro.
And in that video, David played both the victim and the killer. But was it all for the artistry or a dark look into his mind? It all depends on how you look at it. But the video also was released back in February, 7 months before the discovery of Celeste's body. His hit song Romantic Homicide has also faced new questions, too, for its bloody and violent visuals. But surprisingly, this song has been skyrocketing in streams in light of the investigation. Again, just a coincidence, or is there more to it? The singer has been facing backlash online, not just for the alleged inappropriate relationship, but also some
Gay. Nothing against gay people, but I'm just saying, bro. Who said that? What's that dude name? Dame Dash. When he was sitting up grilling Charlemagne, like he said, if you're gay as a black man or whatever man you are, whatever color, just come out and say it, bro. Simple as that. Just come out and say it. Don't sit here and hide and be like, oh, I'm not. If you are, you in the closet. Just say it, bro. It's 2025, bro. Be real with yourself. Ain't got a lot of nobody.
Some unusual online activity that has some scratching their heads. Some Redditors notice David's official subreddit has been locked. According to Fox 11, David is listed as the sole moderator of that account, and some users believe that he's been trying to control a narrative by deleting critical posts about him and the ongoing police investigation. This all came after someone who claimed to be a moderator on David's Discord server and Twitch channel claimed that they didn't know about Celeste, nor were they aware of her age or that she was missing. The admin reportedly thought she was 18 or 19. Then you have the photo that surfaced to TMZ of David in Lake Elsinore, where Celeste is from. Detectives seemingly took all of that information in, because soon after, LAPD officers searched a home where the Tesla was reported abandoned. According to ABC, officers spent hours at that home in the Hollywood Hills, where they ultimately seized evidence, including a computer. Now, the house where detectives searched was reportedly rented by a man named Josh Marshall, who just so happens to be David's manager. Detectives were looking for any kind of trace evidence, including blood. The home was reportedly a $20,000 a month rental. And according to new reports, David and his manager abruptly broke their lease just days after police raided the property. In light of no arrests or charges made at this time, David's career is already taking a huge hit. His music.
Yeah, his career is definitely taking a hit based on this. But if you guys know music, for example, these type of people, you know, that dress with the fucking chokers around their neck and all that stuff, all the weird shit. But anyway, like XXXTentacion, for example, when he first came out, he had a few cases actually going on for domestic violence, allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly for everything. But at the same time, it's like this guy's taking on the same type of image. Now he has a case that's, I guess you could say, pending. Like, people don't know what to do, whether to arrest him or not. I just think he should be arrested if it's proven that he actually messed with this little girl. You should be arrested off top, bro. Just weird. Like, that's weird ass behavior, man. We don't get down like that over here. If you're dealing with kids and all that weird stuff. But like I said before, look at the time of year to win. It's not the winter solstice yet, but it's like from fall all the way until the springtime is when you start to see celebrities drop off. Simple, bro. Like I said, no other YouTuber is going to say it. I'll say it here on live. We're live right now. But let's go ahead and continue, bro.
Music label put a hold on his upcoming album release and music promotions. He canceled his world tour and remaining leg of his U.S. tour. And brands including Hollister and Crocs dropped the singer from their marketing campaign. But we could learn more, as investigators are likely anxiously awaiting the medical examiner's findings on Celeste's autopsy, which could reveal a whole lot more and finally start to lead to answers for several unanswered questions. I'm joined now by retired homicide detective Dr. Ken Lang. Ken, thank you so much for being here today. You know, a lot of people have been following this case, but what's your reaction? You have a young teenager found dismembered in the trunk of a singer's Tesla. But I'm curious, we're weeks now into the investigation, no arrests, no charges. How do you think detectives are working the case now at this point?
Detectives are working.
So hold on. Not only did they find her in the trunk, they found her in the trunk packaged up like some fucking grocery store meat, chopped up. Like, bruh, come on, man. Like, why are you doing this? Whoever did it. But like I said, it's all an offering. I know what it's for. You trying to take your career off, bruh. I know exactly what it is. A lot of the time, that's what's required here in Hollywood. I'm not in Hollywood, but that's what's required to be a part of Hollywood. You have to have some type of offering. You got to give something in order to receive. That's how it is.
In this case,
I just hate the fact that it so happened to be a child, like, or anybody, period, anybody that's I almost said it. Anybody that's offering things like this, like, bruh, I'm just gonna say it, bruh. You a piece of shit. That's all I can say. Piece of shit.
as a fact-finding case. If you've noticed, the medical examiner has not yet ruled on the cause or the manner of death in this case. And so uh, in this stage of the investigation, we call this a medico-legal investigation, where investigators, the criminalist, the medical examiner are all working together. They're bringing in the facts that they're seeing, and they're trying to determine what is the cause and manner of death. And so, while it's a fact-finding investigation at this point, we also see foul play. Certainly, so Celeste's body is found dismembered. From the publications I'm reading, it appears that only her torso and her head, wrapped in plastic, were found in the trunk. So then investigators should be looking for a place, a scene where that dismemberment happened, and where are the arms and legs of Celeste. And those pieces of information could become vital, because they may show signs or injuries or other information for the medical examiner in helping to determine a cause and manner of death.
And it's just horrible, like rethinking about those gruesome details, especially with how young Celeste was. And what do you think is going to be more important? Is it going to be the fact finding, or is it going to be the results of the autopsy report?
Like I told you guys, I got to pause it periodically so I don't get copywritten. But my condolences to her family and things like that. Like I said, neither one of us are there, so we don't know exactly what happened. I'm going to assume maybe she stepped out on them. But even still, why are you dealing with a minor? Like, I'm going to keep saying it. Stop dealing with minors, bro. You can't get a woman your age, my nigga. Like, it's weird. I hate to say the N-word online, bro, but it's whew, weirdos out here, man. And I got kids that's damn near this little girl's age. It's crazy to me.
Well, both are interlinked together and inextricably. And so that the facts that we find and the facts that reveal themselves are going to give that information to the medical examiner to make that determinant for the cause and manner of death. And so in investigations like this, that's paramount, particularly when you're looking to see if there was any criminal activity. And if there was, what exact criminal activity had happened? Because right now, there is the possibility that she could have died of natural causes, say, for example, an overdose. And then people decided we need to remove her body or dispose of her body in a way that doesn't link her to us.
Even with that being the case, like, just say if she did pass from natural cause, that's not even natural causes. Natural causes would be like a sickness. If she had cancer or something, that's different. But even if that were the case, why not call the police? If she died of natural or from an overdose or whatever they want to call it, call the police, call the ambulance, do what you got to do, bro. Like, she wasn't supposed to be there anyway. So if you get in trouble for her being at your spot and she just so happened to pass away, that's on you. You'll probably do less time because you really didn't do anything. Maybe you provided the drugs for her, but once again, that'll just have to be something he'll have to learn from at the end of the day, if that were the case, if she died from drugs or whatever. Anyway.
Or it could be that there's a criminal intent and that the injury was inflicted upon her. And that, again, so those facts that they find from all the examination of the entire body as a whole becomes paramount in making that determination.
So I feel like everything that we know right now, we still need to know so much more. But with everything we do know now, Ken, I'm curious to know your thoughts on whether or not all of this is just a really bad coincidence, or does it look like there's enough evidence kind of pointing to the singer David as having something to do with Celeste's murder?
And so at this point, again, I don't know that there is. I don't see enough probable cause to even point to murder yet. Again, the medical examiner is going to have to rule, and without that, a prosecutor is really not going to be able to move forward. Their hands and feet are going to be bound in any criminal pursuit of charges in that way. What was the other part of your question? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, of course. I was just going to ask, do you think that we have enough evidence kind of pointing to the singer as being responsible, or do you think that everything just right now is just a really, really bad coincidence?
It's not a coincidence, bro. It's not a coincidence at all. Like I said before, she ran away from home multiple times with David. Her mom also said that her daughter Celeste had a boyfriend by the name of David. I mean, I don't know why the police sometimes play slow. I mean, I do understand they have to make sure they get the right guy. I completely get that. But in this case, they should also be wondering, not just wondering, oh, how did she pass? Why is she with him? Ask that as well. Why is she with him? I mean, even if they did find the rest of her body parts, it's not really going to do any justice because it was decomposed. The most you can do, like they said, she had a tattoo on her index finger that said, shh, I get it. So you can link that to her maybe, and that's about it. And the fact that she was found in his car, he got the same tattoo on his index finger as well, all that stuff. But this video, I don't know. It's like they're not really giving that many details in it. I would try to hurry up and find another video, but we already been on here for an hour and 2 minutes. I'm not trying to keep talking for that long. I want to go back to sleep before my kids get up for real. But let's go ahead and get through the rest of this before we wrap it up. And if you guys are just now coming in here, just go ahead and leave a like so more people can see this video. I would highly appreciate it.
So right now, regarding the evidence, it's as you say, a bad coincidence, or it's really circumstantial, if you will. There's no direct evidence to show that David did anything to cause the death of Celeste and then to dismember and dispose of the body, other than we have her body in the back of his Tesla and it's dismembered. But we don't even have proof to say that he did that per se and not somebody else that he might be associated with.
And do you think, with kind of a lot of people having eyes on this case now, in terms of kind of the armchair detectives, or how some people would say internet sleuths or internet vultures, do you think they're helping or hindering the case in terms of maybe just over inundating detectives with information just because they want to get justice for Celeste and also possibly solve a crime? Do you think that those who are just curious about the case, who are just throwing in tips to detectives, do you think that that's helping the case at all in terms of finding new leads possibly?
So overall, as a detective who's worked homicide investigations, you're very aware of the court of public opinion. And the reality is these detectives are not sitting down and really watching too much of the news, the media feed, and all that information, as much as they are working the case and filling it out with plugging the holes where they have the gaps of information that they need. That isn't to say that they're not that someone isn't monitoring the news to see if there is a witness or if there is somebody who is paramount to bringing more information into this investigation. So you may have a bystander, you may have a witness who's been communicating with some of these people who may have brought in a lead to them that becomes important. And so as those leads come in, detectives are going to go through those leads. They're going to look at what is the viability of this? How valid is this lead? And often the leads that become important in an investigation will have some sense or a little piece of information that's not commonly known to the public, but is known to the suspects involved and the investigators conducting the investigation.
So one part that I did realize in this video that they did not mention is the fact that David also had two girls around him that he considered, I think the name was Celeste, right? So Celeste was the younger one, but he also had an older girl who called herself Celeste as well. And the reason for him doing that, I'm going to assume, in my opinion, is so that way he can kind of like cover his tracks in a way, like, oh, I'm not with this younger one, I'm with the older Celeste. They're both of their name is Celeste or CC, whatever they called themselves. They never mentioned that in this video, But based on the articles that I read prior to this, it was a 19-year-old girl, I believe, or 20. I think she was 20. And her name was totally different than this 15-year-old girl that passed. Rest in peace. But that actually speaks a lot right there. Like, why would you? I don't know, bro. Like, at the same time, why would you even have two girls around each other and call both of them the same thing? Like, you obviously was plotting from the jump. If you feel like you got to do all of that because you don't want to get caught, you know, he just didn't want to get caught up being with this little child. That's what it was. And based on some articles, based on some Reddit comments and all that stuff, this guy has his own Discord and all of that. They didn't mention that because it's like they want to leave certain information out. And this is what I mean. When it comes to this type of time of the year, when celebrities get to dropping off, family members get to dropping off and things like that, the offerings are being given. You have people in media like this, for example, who don't bring those up. Even the FBI, police, they're not going to mention all of this stuff because they know what it is too. Believe it or not, a lot of your police officers and all of this stuff, they are free M's. I'm going to say that, free M's. Hopefully you guys can put two and two together. I can't say that word. I definitely can't say that on here. The people that lay bricks and all that stuff, use that word, but just put free in front of it, if that's a better way to put it. But I'm trying to say it without saying it. Hopefully you guys know what I mean. But yeah, at the same time, you got people like that who work in investigations and all that stuff who will cover it up as well because they know what it is. A lot of your police officers are that, the FMs. So you have to realize that, first of all, biblically, I'm not about to thump the Bible over y'all head or nothing like that. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the Feast of Trumpets, the Feast of Tabernacles. We're actually in this time right now today. It started earlier this week. But you got Yom Kippur, I believe that's how you say it, Day of Atonement, all of that stuff if you're Christian. And then you have the Sukkot. In the Bible, all of that stuff is being, how do I say it? They have plenty of scriptures and all of that stuff in the Bible where most of it is in Leviticus. They have, if you read Leviticus, you read the book of Numbers, Deuteronomy, all of that stuff mentions how you have to give an offering around the autumn season. It says it clearly in the Bible. But I know a lot of people are going to say that's Old Testament. A lot of these, what do you call them? A lot of these cultures, I guess you can say, follow the Old Testament as well. So when you go into these type of situations like what we're dealing with right here with David and this young teenager, just put two and two together, bro. Just put it together. We know what it is. Anyway, I think that's about it. Let's go ahead and wrap this up, bro. All right. So now that we got all of that out the way, hopefully I was able to open you guys' eyes to some of the things that are going on here in society today. And these aren't new things, you know. These things have been going on for years where people are being offered for fortune, offer for career advances, things like that. But when it comes to dealing with the Celeste case and all of that stuff, first of all, if you guys ever decided that you wanted to, if you guys wanted to, I guess, donate to the show, like I said before, Cash App All Off Trucking 01. But make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, because this is actually the first time I'm speaking like this about offerings, I guess you can say, online. Like, I didn't want, my channel's not monetized yet, so I'm trying my best to tiptoe around YouTube's laws and policy and whatever you want to call it and their rules. But yeah, like I said, you guys have to stay very vigilant, pay attention to your surroundings, because it's that time of the year, man, where things like this is going to just start happening everywhere. So just pay attention. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff for me. And believe that's it. Peace. I'm out. You guys have a blessed day.
Talking about all the way to the top, yeah. Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in, but the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.